What's up, Fire Fan? My name is Kiahonfire and welcome back to Conan Exiles. Today we're going to be doing a video showing you what the captains drop. Now, if you don't know about this, there are a few captains in camps in Siptah and they can drop certain things. One of the more useful things being war paint or things like that. And their war paint isn't just for cosmetic looks. Their war paint has statistical bonuses which could be worth looking into in general. So we're going to be looking at some loot. It could be a nice way of getting some early game loot as well, if you wanted to, depending on the camp you're going for, or just maybe some spare thrall armour. As you can see, this guy is dropping stuff, you know, Fragments of Power, war paints. These guys could be really good for farming things like this and all sorts. So good stuff here. We're going to be checking out what they kind of drop and who is there, you know, can you knock them out either. You'll know if you've found one, because usually they cannot be knocked out. You can't tame them, and there are a few captains of the map that don't drop anything, but I'm going to be showing you a few that I definitely know that do drop some kind of useful stuff to get. So we're going to check out the loot for cris-phon the patent right now. So I've got a bunch of them on the floor to kind of give you an idea. This is the map location. He's in the nook. And he's just right up on the shelf right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do the clean up command. I'm just going to clean him up. And we get a nice big bag of what he drops. So you can see he drops some invader stuff already. That's quite clear. Drops the Fragments of Power pretty often as well. And you can see the nice Stygian invader war paint as well. That's bonus strength, encumbrance and survival. And he's got some bag of essences, so that's pretty decent. We actually have another bag down here as well. We got elixirs. That's kind of what he drops anyway. If you wanted to go for this guy, you'd probably be going for the fragments, the war paint, or maybe some spare bits of armor. Now, he's not the only one with a very similar loot pool, actually identical loot pool. We have Net here, the consort. She's located just a little bit away in the ruins of New Kemi, and she also can drop stuff like he can. So you got fragments and all sorts. So we'll bag that up and let's have a look overall to have a look at her stuff. Arguably, she kind of dropped less gear this rotation round, but lots of fragments, lots of war paint. The war paint is exactly the same as I just showed you earlier. And those kind of things dropping from her also. There's also another very similar one of these in a camp not too far away. We have NA, the supple. And she's got the exact same loot table that you can also get from her as well. The same war paints and all of that good stuff in her. And she's just over here in the net throne over here for her. Those Stygians aren't the only one dropping those kind of things either. There are different factions that drop different things. Different captains drop different kind of stuff. So Rabbit and Millie being one of them kind of drops different stuff too. She's got like upgrade kits, food and scraps. And if we're to farm her out and then clean her up into a bag, we can find out what else she drops. She does drop a war paint herself, the accursed war paint, strength, grit and accuracy. So there you go, that's pretty good. And she also could drop this nice legendary shield here and some other bits and bobs that's quite nice. I mean, you got actually a couple of legendaries in this, so she could rarely drop that by the looks of it in comparison to the other ones. And then she has a few other kind of nice drops, but she doesn't seem to drop armor pieces, more of a weapon type kind of piece. And you can find Millie over here. She doesn't have a map marker as such, her camp isn't marked her, but it's just on this kind of little black dot on this kind of droopy nose looking part. And of course there's plenty more from where that came from. We have Sippah's sail worn over here. And this one will give us those kind of things as well from its loot table. But different because it's a black hand fighter. You'll probably notice because it's in a black hand camp. So if we were to get a bunch of these and then clean them up into baggies, we kind of get an idea of what this one drops. You can see this one has a bigger loot table in a way. It has lots of heavy coin purses. You can get some money out of that. You got the whole Black Corsair armor in here. You also got the other type of the in here as well. The stuff you would use the nice there is ebony silk to make. You got pearls in this slot, and you have legendary weapon repair kits and armor patch kits. So going to find these guys could be worth it. Also fragments. That's the thing they always seem to drop throughout, is Fragments of Power. So these are definitely worth farming, you know, because, I mean, look at these nice legendary kits, if you can get your hands on some of those. If not, then you got some coins, and if not for that, then Fragments of Power is also very nice. If you want to find this guy in particular, he is at the Dusky Inlet. Now, the ones up the north sector could be a little bit more challenging, because they do tend to be in bigger camps, or just in more challenging areas in general. There are some I'm going to show you in bigger camps though that kind of drop special stuff. So the Nameless Shadow is one of these that's at the top of the Cursed Citadel in the middle of the map, and you kill her off and she can drop quite a lot of things. She's actually the one that will drop you a Sora's armor, and she can drop a couple of legendary weapons as well. She gives armor sets as well from the Sumerian third tier and the steel tier and Fragments of Power. So if we bring in a bunch, we clean her up, and let's have a kind of a bigger look at what she has. You can see Spectre Coding, more Azura's stuff, Shadow Sting, the bonus accuracy, and then you have the Shadow's Bite, which is bonus grit. Not too great. Fragments of Power, more Azura's armor, and just a bunch of random kind of dropping stuff. So that's kind of what she will drop. Here's another one in a nicer camp in the north. It's Peter Storm. And we're gonna storm his world, you know. Unfortunately though, for this one, is the problem with some of these is you can kill them off, but they can be replaced with something else that you don't really want in the loot table. So you can see you got the fighters, and then he reappears eventually out of all of these. So some of these spots are better to farm than others. This one is not one of those. Do you particularly want to keep coming over to farm for this mini boss anyway? His loot drops aren't awfully great either, having a look at it. I mean, having that grade of armor for free, if you just drop one piece with a thrall, is really nice. But apart from that, if you want to consistently farm him, consistency isn't going to be something that is awfully great. I have just seen something quite nice in one of these though. Let's see what he's got. He does have a legendary weapon. It is a nice sword with vitality. So I guess if you wanted those kind of drops, he could be worth doing. But apart from that, not awfully. Let's have a look at his loot table a little more closely. See what we got, if there's anything special. Of course, this is going to be mixed in with other ones. It would seem the sword is probably the only special thing he really has in here, if he is to drop it. And it doesn't drop very commonly either out of all the ones I've kind of tried to get rid of. Cold Heart Ruins. Now there does seem to be one at each major camp. There is one in the Siptah's Contemplation. I'm having errors with spawning that one in right now. There is this one also over here at the Ashen Core. It's a mixed spawner, so you get mixed results out of this one. You can get just normal fighters, or you can get Margle the Captain. Then this is kind of what she looks like. As you can see, mixed spawner, you can get different things coming out of this one, so it's not always reliable, but you might get Margle sometimes. And then we clean her up. Let's have a look at some of the bags she drops. She can drop the Hammer of the Whale actually, which is kind of interesting. Not too great. You can drop a Black Corsair Sword, Shark Bites, which are legendary. You got the Corsair and the Ebony Silk. Not quite as good as the other captain we found that seems to spawn consistently, but kind of interesting what she will drop as well. This camp also has something else at the top of the camp. You come into this kind of ship area and you make it up into here, and there's another one that has a mixed spawner that can spawn a captain, which is Nakoshi the Ashen, and we have a bunch of him down there, and he could drop some pretty interesting stuff as well of his own. If we have a little look at his table, let's have a little look-see here. We can see he's got some interesting things of his own. He has the Nakoshi daggers, and again you got that Black Corsair, and you also got a pike that he could give you with bonus strength. That's actually a pretty good pike, I'm not gonna lie. So he drops some pretty decent stuff too. Anyway, those are not the only ones. There's actually quite a few captains spread across the map, and of course you've got the 3 different faction types that you will receive this from. So you got all these as well. We've already covered the Nameless Shadow. You got Kalandra, Peter, Rebel Jin, Ridrick, and all of these Corsairs, and of course you've got all the Stygian as well that could drop lots of different bits and bobs. So definitely worth having a look into, definitely worth adding to a farming rota as well sometimes when it comes to some of these, because their drops are pretty decent, you know. If you want a good source of legendary kits, you don't have anybody to make those yet, this could be a good place to kind of look at, you know, for these thralls as such. Especially the ones that consistently spawn. Like, some of them don't consistently, some of them do and always will spawn the same one over and over and over again, which can make them worth coming to. So now what I'm doing in this section of the video is I'm going to be looking into their kind of loot tables of these guys. I don't know every single location of the captains, so if you do know though, like one I haven't mentioned in this video or such, do mention in the comments down below where to find it, etc. Share the knowledge, you know, that kind of thing. But I'm going to kind of show you what they drop either way. So if you do see that name in the game and you're like, oh wait, I should probably get rid of this lady because she might give me something nice, you know, I'll show you what they're going to be dropping. We have a very graceful lady right here. We got a bunch of her. We got Calandra, I think, yeah, the Reaver. See what she drops as a whole. We've made it into a baggie. Let's have a look. She drops her own sword, so she has bonus fit and strength. That's actually a really good sword drop if you can get her. She has a Sumerian stuff. She has her own shield, bonus vit and grit. That's also really nice, and the durability is actually hecka good, I'm not gonna lie. Health damage a little lackluster, but it is a shield, so that doesn't matter too much. We're done Peter, so I'm probably gonna do Rebel Jin now. Let's bring in a bunch of her, see what she gives. She's already wearing Azura's armor, so that's a good sign. Let's see what she gives. She gives an ads. Interesting. You got bonus vit in there. What else is she dropping that is kinda unique? I'm just seeing that for now, and the armor is quite deceiving because she doesn't drop any of the armor she's wearing. I don't think we've looked at Ridrick, so I'm going to bring in a bunch of this one. We're going to clean him up into a baggie. Let's see what he drops. He drops mortar. Yeah, we definitely haven't looked at this guy. That's actually really good. Nice Sunder. We have Brighter, which is Encumbrance, and Scatter, which is bonus grit. I believe that is a mace. There's actually a pretty decent drop itself. You got some sword venomers and essences as well. Now we're pretty much done with the accursed tier there. We've already seen Nameless Shadow, so let's have a look at some of these ones. These ones you can find out as well. All of these ones here. So we'll start off with Boatswain, I guess. Gonna clean him up into a little baggie. His little baggies are in parts. That's fine. What does he give? He drops his own hook, which is sword. Black Corsair in there as well, pearls, and not too much apart from that. Now we're looking at Quartermaster Kung, so he's another one that you can get stuff out of. We're going to clean him up into a little bag. He seems to drop these key rings, tents, nothing awfully special. You do have the Black Hand paint in there, and the shanty, but nothing too unique. We've already seen Maga. Let's have a look at Michaeli. I think we haven't seen her yet. Transfer that into a bag. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, here we go. Chef's Trusted Cleaver drops, and also the Broken Glass, which is kind of a nice warhammer in a way. And a bunch of Vehemence elixirs also drops from this one in particular. Let's check out One Eye. I'm pretty sure we haven't done that one yet. We'll make him into a bag. Let's have a look. He's dropped his own eye patch. Bonus accuracy. You wouldn't think so with only having one eye covered, but that is fair enough, my dude, and that seems to be the only thing he really drops that's special. And then we have Zabweth. Let's bring in this one. Make her into a bag. You can see she drops nice shields here. Bonus survival, not great. They also seem to be at half durability as well for some reason. And the rest of the loot isn't great, so if you see her, she's not really worth looking out for, actually. Now, there is actually a lot less of the Invader ones than it is the other one. I think we've done most of these, actually. Maybe we haven't done Minstrel. Let's have a look at Minstrel. And then we'll bag him up. Let's have a look at his drops. He drops Song of Minstrel, which is a katana by the looks of it, with no buff, but it is a nice katana all the same. It has that pretty much as his loot table. So some of them drop nice stuff, some of them don't. I would definitely look into some of these though, that are definitely worth having a look at, especially the ones that drop the really nice stuff like the legendary kits and the armor patch kits and all of that good stuff. But that's a few of them, just to kind of show you what they kind of drop. I didn't really see anybody covering this too much. about the captains themselves, but they are out and around on the map, mostly in the southern portion, so definitely worth having a look around there. And in the bigger camps also you can find these large big boys, and they're quite obvious when you see them because they're very tall, angry, and come at you with a lot of passion. So there you kind of go. But anyway, yeah, do let me know if you have some in mind, and their coordinates in the comments down below. Definitely do you know, have a look down there. Some people might have left their comments about that kind of thing if they found ones I haven't really mentioned in this video. Could be worth having a look at. But anyway, that is going to be it for this video today. Thank you for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.